Hi, welcome once again for another walk in the Carpenter shop. I'm going to be your tour guide for just a minute. I'm Jeff Dixon, and we're going to look at some things that help kind of grow us in our journey of faith, I hope, just a little bit. I want to read you a passage of scripture out of Titus chapter 3, verses 1 and 2. It says this: "Remind them to be subject to rulers and authorities, to obey and be ready for every good work, to speak evil of no one, to be peaceable, gentle, showing all humility to all men." Recently, in the news, whistleblowers from social media companies were warning us that sites were using algorithms that weaponize human nature by promoting content that makes us angry or disgusted. It fires us up, and we spend a lot of time being outraged over things, over posts, and our outrage spills over into politics, and we want to cancel others, and we want to protest, and we want to argue, and we want to fight. For followers, one of the things that these verses remind me of is that we need to be careful. And we need to avoid the outrage and the angry outburst. Instead, we have to learn that fine line. And this is an important lesson that we spend our entire lives doing, by the way. But we have to learn to take the time to learn to speak the truth in love. Now, that doesn't mean you say, "I love you, but," and then you blast. But what it is the ability to learn to speak and communicate truth in a way that is calm, in a way that is reasonable, but also spoken with an attitude that simply says to the other person, "I love you and I care about you. And even if you disagree with me, and even if you want to argue with me, I'm not here for an argument. I'm just here simply to share truth." In other words, our style matters. There are times that certainly you will have to push back a little bit harder, and there are some times where you're going to have to become a little bit righteously indignant, but that can't be personal. That has to be practical for communicating truth. Now, what I just said there was huge. If our leaders on a national level could ever learn that, our lives as people who try to live day in and day out would be a lot better, wouldn't they? But just think about it. You are here for a reason, and you are to share hope and love and the truth of Christ with the rest of the world. And so, beware of the outburst. Beware of how we respond. But also remember that in how we respond, we reflect the love of Christ. My prayer for you, my prayer for me, is that we would respect those we need to respect, that we would be gentle, that we would be loving. And even when we have to push, even when we have to push hard, we would do so with velvet hands that will show those that we are pushing against that they are loved and they are valuable, because they are to Jesus. No kidding. If we could learn that, we would all be better off. And so that's what I would share with you today. And I look forward to joining you again next time in the Carpenter shop.